Welcome to the Genetic Genius. I'm your host, Dr. LuLu. On today's episode, we have the privilege of sitting down with an extraordinary individual who embodies the power of healing and empowerment. Please join me in welcoming Claire Gorman, an inspiring empowerment coach, master energy healer, medical intuitive, and advanced Theta Healer. Claire's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. After a life-altering experience that triggered a massive spiritual awakening, she discovered her innate gifts of intuitive healing. This unexpected turn of events led her to embark on a new path, where she now dedicates her life to helping others find peace, joy, and balance. With compassion and guidance, Claire works closely with individuals to release emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual burdens. Her own personal experiences of overcoming anxiety, illness, and burnout have fueled her passion for supporting others on their healing journeys. Claire firmly believes in the innate power within each individual to heal themselves and create new realities. Today, we'll explore the fascinating topics of intuition, healing emotional blockages within the body scanning, and intuitive guidance. Claire will also share her unique approach, a spiritual, metaphysical perspective on healing illnesses. She'll reveal her personal story of change and transformation, demonstrating how healing techniques can facilitate quantum leaps toward success. Furthermore, Claire's unwavering dedication lies in developing a healing technique that empowers individual souls and helps them break free from fear and limiting beliefs. Through our conversation, she aims to open a world of possibilities, allowing her clients to embrace their true potential and make a positive impact on the world. Get ready to be inspired as we dive deep into the realm of healing, empowerment, and personal transformation with the incredible Claire Gorman. Stay tuned for an enlightening conversation that will empower your soul and guide you towards a brighter, more fulfilling future. Let's jump right in. Welcome, Claire.
Thank you so much, Lulu. I'm really pleased to be here. So thank you for inviting me on.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited for our conversation today. And I'd love for you to, before we dive into our deep conversation, our metaphysical conversation, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about your own personal journey of transformation, how you transitioned to what you're doing today. I don't want to give away spoiler alert, but if you could give us some real insights into who you are today, what inspires you, what's your passions, what kind of makes you tick?
So to cut a long story short, because my journey of transformation was a completely long journey, I started my career in the hairdressing and beauty industry. And I was inspired because my mum was a hairdresser, and I loved the fact that she would help people feel $1 million walking out of the salon. So it's just a natural progression that I went in and did that journey as well. Throughout my career in the hair and beauty industry, I did different sectors in that. I worked for a large global beauty company, teaching, traveling the UK. I'm English, but I live in Australia now. And even today, the programs that I run actually pulls on a lot of wisdom and knowledge that I learned from my years ago teaching and training for this company. So it's amazing sometimes that you learn things not because you need them straight away, is because you might pull on that wisdom and knowledge in the future. And then I actually had to give up that career. I became a wife and a mother because I was traveling all around the UK. That wasn't practical. So then I had a career break, and I loved just being the mum at home and understanding. But actually at that time, I really lost my identity as well. As women, we shift and change so much over our lifetime with different roles and responsibilities. And I really struggled. You could have probably said that I was undiagnosed postnatal depression, but it actually started really affecting my health. I was a person 15 years ago that wouldn't get off the sofa. For me to just take my kids to school was really hard for me. The doctors wanted to prescribe me depression tablets, and I refused that I had depression, but it actually put me on a path of more of a holistic healing. Along came alternative therapies, naturopathy, and really starting to understand how to nurture and love my body. I actually had a bit of a neglect wound going on. So I really struggled with unworthiness on spending money on myself and making myself healthy and well. That was going on in the background. And I always had this deep passion that I wanted more, that my life was here for a reason and a purpose, above and beyond like being a mother. That was part of it. And then we got the opportunity to come here to Australia. And as soon as I hit Australia land, the land that is embedded, the land of opportunity, I just thought, I'm not going home. This is my home now. I knew that I was meant to be here. And it started, Australia's quite an alternative therapy country. So once again, there was therapies out here that wasn't in the UK. So once again, my healing journey started to take place. And the more that naturopathy really, and my diet and being aware of who I was, where I was, and who I was surrounding myself with, really started to open up my quest for learning. And when I was here in Australia, we didn't know anyone. We needed to build a community. We needed to build people around me and us. And I actually ended up opening up another hair and beauty salon. But this time through my journey, when I started doing that, my health took a decrease. So I was like, okay, so what's going on there? I looked at more alternatives and then realized that I needed to go completely low tox in my hair and beauty business. And to forward fast it on, you meet people for a reason. And one day this woman came and sat in my chair and she talked about Theta Healing. And I was absolutely inspired. And fast forward, I went for sessions after sessions and I felt better and I felt better. So Theta, the modality Theta works on the subconscious. So it's all about your limiting beliefs and it's changing your negative feelings for positive feelings. And it's done through a bit like hypnosis is probably the easiest way to explain it. And you can use it for more personal development, but you can use it completely very spiritual as well. So it can cater for most people. And I could see that things were changing around me. And it wasn't until my mum had said to me, 6 months in, I didn't tell her I was having healing sessions. I felt like she'd judge me. I was a bit alternative.
Yeah.
And she said to me 6 months in, what's happened to you? We used to FaceTime once a week. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, this is the first time I've ever seen you truly look happy. And I thought, oh, wow, that was really powerful. So I went back and had more sessions. And not only did I use Theta Healing in myself, but I also used it in my business as well, which is really absolutely cool. And then my business changed. We moved home. Basically, my whole life was up leveling and it was just getting better and better. And then COVID hit. So 50% of my business had to close overnight. We were in Melbourne. So we were in lockdown for a really long time. So that gave me the opportunity to pivot. I knew that I didn't want to do hair for the rest of my life. I was actually, not only did I do hair, I was actually an image consultant and a personal stylist. So I really had a business that was helping women transform on the outside. When they came and had their time with me, we spoke about makeup, we spoke about styling, clothes, color. It was like a complete bespoke business. I absolutely loved the business. But I then used to send my clients to my healer to have the work done on the inside, because the inside and the outside work makes an amazing formula. So I was thrilled by the way Theta Healing was helping me in my life. I then decided to go and do the courses, not because I wanted to do clients, but really because I wanted to learn more about it and do some work on myself. And I basically had a very big spiritual awakening in those courses. I was always very alternative, but I'd dumbed it down through my whole life because of fear and judgment. It basically reawakened me. And through about 6 weeks, I had this whole process of, oh my God, I'm not meant to be doing that. I'm meant to be doing this. What am I supposed to be doing? So basically came out of COVID and said to all my clients, I'm closing my business down and this is where I'm stepping into. And it's just been a process of doing the Theta courses. And then I did empowerment coaching and then energetics and studying medical intuitive. So basically it's just taken me on a completely different path to where I am here today, sitting in front of you, which is great.
Wow, what an empowering story, Claire. I love that. It's funny when you were talking about having a salon. My grandmother, she used to have a salon in her garage. And so I always grew up with just having people all the time coming through the house. And I remember she had this really old like Coke machine with like the bottle caps. I would collect all the bottle caps, like just all these little
Yes.
memories. And it was a big part of her life, just helping others. So I love that you had that kind of in your beginning phase, helping women to really, from the image, from the inside to the outside. Right now, you're really working on this whole other level, still working with women on the inside and the outside, but at a different level, which is so important.
Yeah, when they used to come into the salon, they would say, I'm struggling with I'd do a full consultation. I'm struggling with my skin, I'm struggling with my scalp. And they open up. We are like other doctors. And then I could see patterns between, okay, so when they have like skin and scalp issues, I know. And I'd say, what's your gut? Oh, my gut's really bad. Oh, and then all this information. So I always was into the medical side of things and piecing everything together. And actually, I was healing them. I was doing a lot of hands-on healing for them in the salon, but obviously it wasn't really noticed. But I was also taking a lot of their emotions and feelings. I was absorbing all that because I am an empath and a sensitive. So I really needed the healing actually helped me cope with a lot of anxiety and stress that I was carrying from other people. Yeah.
Help you to ground and be able to process that piece of healing, which is so important as
not
healers.
Even take it on, like
right,
help
yeah.
them, but not actually absorb.
Right, absorb it, which can be really toxic as a healer when you absorb all the other aspects of someone else's healing or unhealing.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
totally. So let's talk about the aspect of intuition, because I think this is a place that a lot of patients, listeners, clients out there are always tapping into, right? The place of how they can tap into their own intuition to help themselves on their own inner journey. So how does let's talk about intuition. And I love to then tie that into a place of that role in healing emotional blockages and segue into that piece, because I think that's really important in how they relate or interconnect.
Yeah, so first up, everyone's got intuition.
That's right.
We're born with it.
We're born.
We cannot live a life without intuition. But what happens is people sometimes fear their intuition. And through experiences, through learned things, say for instance, their gut feelings, their gut emotion was going to tell them to do this thing, and then they did another thing and it didn't work out right, or they start to listen to someone else instead of themselves, because we all like to connect on a human form, and a lot of people will listen to other people rather than listen to themselves. So everybody's got intuition, and intuition is a skill that we develop over time. So it's like baby steps. It's work a little bit on your intuition, and then trust comes in. Work a bit more on your intuition, and then trust drops in. I actually help a lot of my clients open up their intuition. I actually work with a lot of healers. They come to me so that they can open up their intuition more. And a lot of people say to me, how do you do it? And it's literally, you've got to go into stillness. You've got to go into peace and quiet. So meditation, journaling. You cannot get true intuition come through when you are completely in your head, in your mind, and you've got 101 things running around, because you've got 101 things of different voices and feelings and emotions.
That's right.
Around. You're not going to pick that one true inner notice and guidance. People think intuition is outside of them, but your intuition is inside of you. So that's when a lot of people say you've got to ground. And people say, oh, grounding. Some people don't know what grounding is. Getting out of your head and getting into your body so that you can connect to true feelings and emotions to help you guide. Now, this year, a lot of people are going to go through like more spiritual awakenings or get onto like more of a spiritual intuition energy path, because it's the year of 7. So it's bringing soul connections down into the body and helping guide us that way, rather than ego and head and what Mary says down the road, because we really like Mary. It's bringing your power back to you along those lines. This year is very key to people. People are going to start wanting to read books, listen to podcasts and things like that to feel more guided. we've had in the collective consciousness a few years of like real ups and downs, major stresses, overwhelm, fears have been put in place through the genetic line. I know I could see in the collective when lockdown happened in Victoria, Melbourne, a lot of people, it actually brought up a lot of their traumas of where wartime and things like that, and rationing through the supermarkets and things like that. I could feel it around a lot of people as well. And a lot of people put on weight through that time as well because of the fear of starvation and stuff like that coming up. Anyways, intuition is an amazing thing. So your intuition, you can either go through your gut feelings. Some people feel it in their gut, which is their solar plexus, which is where their soul power is. Some people go with their heart, and then some people do, it depends on how tapped in and tuned you are. Some people do go through with their head, but it's their head not from an egotistical point of view. It's a voice that they hear, or a knowing that they hear that is very loving and gentle and kind. So if you have intuition and it's coming through as, you shouldn't have done that, you're a bit whatever,
that's not a good
made
place.
that mistake yet again. That's not your intuition,
right? No,
I call it negative Nancy.
Right, yeah, your ego chiming in. Right, not a good place to listen from.
Your intuition, we can call it your higher self, your soul, whatever, is going to speak to you in the most loving, kindest way. So it's going to say, hey, what about if you did it that way? What would that look like? Would that actually make you feel really happy going down that path? You want to buy a home. Oh, is that home going to make you feel happy? Is it going to make you feel safe? Is it going to make you still feel secure? I think it is. That's what intuition sounds, loving intuition sounds for, rather than something else. And it's just baby steps. But the best way is to ground yourself. So the ways you can ground yourself for your listeners is being in nature. Okay, because we've got beautiful light codes. Okay, so sunlight, it actually codes you, it actually heals you. The earth, so bare feet on the grass and bare feet on the beach or in the seawater is just perfect, because once again, it's got an electromagnetic field that actually helps your body feel more centered to the earth. When you're all in your head, it's basically like your energy is outside your body, or it's in your head. So by getting into nature and doing those processes, it's going to bring you back in. Earthy smelling oils. I know you're into your oils, but I always go to my vetiver. That's the one. It brings me straight back in. It really grounds me, and it makes me feel really strong. Eating like organic root vegetables and things like that is going to bring you back into your body, make you feel very strong, very safe, very secure, very centered is probably the easiest word to say. And listening to calm music, meditation, and yoga. So they're like the main things that are really going to support you, because you get back into your body, you still your mind, and then the intuition comes through. The intuition's not going to come through if you're all over the place.
No.
So vitamins and minerals is another thing as well. Vitamins and minerals are really important when you want to connect and things like that as well.
Oh, that's great, Claire. So important, because I think a lot of people, like how you explained, listening to that inner voice, that intuition, and knowing when it is a place of truth or not, right? I think that's really important. And then what you said too, that taking baby steps, right? Just slowly starting to trust yourself when it comes to your intuition. That's what I'm always telling my patients when it comes to health, right? It's okay, maybe you're just going to see, maybe it's B vitamins or something, and you're going to just ask yourself, like, is this something that I need today? Because I think that's the empowerment piece when it comes to health, knowing what supplements, what to eat, what sleep, what music, exercise, all those components. But I think there's so much noise in our environment, right? And being able to tune out all the noise is challenging sometimes.
Yeah, and we see on social media, take this vitamin, do this, do that, whatever. And people are just like, oh, okay, what do I do? And then they put their health and well-being into the hands of someone else. And I love the fact that you say, does this feel good? Does my body need this today? Because sometimes your head doesn't think it needs it, but your body says, yes, I do need that.
Please.
So I can imagine you would, like the process of muscle testing or things like that. is perfect, because your head will say, no, I don't need that because I don't want to spend that amount of money on myself. If you've got worthiness issues, that was me, hello. But your body like craving it. It's like, I need this, please give it to me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
just doing a lot of traveling, and my body craves totally different things when I'm traveling, because it's just like being on the plane, being in the car, all types of transportation, and being around different people. It's just like very different. So I always put myself in, okay, what do I need that's going to be different? Maybe it's the same thing I usually need, or maybe I was in the desert, so I needed way more hydration than I usually do, just a massive amount. And I still felt dehydrated, even like with twice as much water as I usually drink. So I was like, okay, what else do I need? So I was like, oh, maybe some electrolytes, things to really, and when you're tuning into what your body needs, it's a whole different level of respect for your body.
Completely agree. Yeah, completely agree.
Mhm.
Every day. So I'm not a naturopath or a nutritionist, but I am an intuitive eater, right? So I'm coded that way. When I go down in the morning, I have all my lotions and potions there. And I go, okay, body, what am I having today? And I just go, I'm having that, and I'm having that. Tomorrow might be different. Oh, this afternoon I feel a bit, I've done a lot of channeling and things like that. Oh, I need some more magnesium. Okay, so I'm going to take some magnesium again this afternoon. And that's how I personally work it. Obviously, I do work with a naturopath and a nutritionist as well. Don't self-diagnose everything myself, but yeah, I do feel into what I need, what my body needs. Bodies are amazing. Bodies know how to heal themselves. You cut yourself, you might clean it and sterilize it, but then the body takes over and heals it. But sometimes we control our body.
Yeah, I love that. Innate wisdom is so important. And I do the point that you brought up too. We can have that intuition and listen to ourselves and know what we might need in the moment, but then we can tune into or get help from others, right? Nutritionists, naturopathic physicians like myself, medical intuitive like yourself, from that area where we need help, or to guide us, get us onto the path where sometimes we stray off, right? Okay, maybe you're having, I don't know, an autoimmune disease or an autoimmune reaction, right? That's when you really need to bring in your health team, because you've strayed so far off of the line of balance that nothing really seems to be clear on your path anymore. It's just like, you're like, I don't know what I need. Everything just seems to be a jumble, right?
Yes. Yeah, totally. When I work with a lot of my private clients, especially when they're on like a 4-month or a year's journey with me of complete transformation, I will say to them, do you have a really good naturopath? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, we're going to find that. We're actually going to energetically call that person in so that you are going to find them in the next week. Do you have a really good doctor? And I do work with a lot of women around the late 40s into 50s, moving from the archetype of mother into wise woman, and because they're ready to do something different with their life. And a lot of these women do have gut issues, thyroid issues, menopause issues, and things like that. So it's okay, do you have a really good, kind doctor that you see that is really supportive around like this changing cycle in our life? And they're like, no, not really. I'm like, we're gonna find you a new list. We're gonna call that one in. You're gonna have your naturopath. You're going to have me from more of an intuitive point of view. Do you need a dietitian? And we map out and we pull in a really great support team. And support team might be that they need a cleaner, that they need this, they need that, they need someone that's going to show them how to cook healthy meals. It's all individual. It's really key that to have change, yes, it comes from within, but we've also got to be around people that want that change for you and love you to hold you through that space and time. Because 9 times out of 10, most people don't change because they haven't got that support around them.
So important, Claire. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, team support. That's in one of my main questions in my intake forms. Do you have a team? Who's on your support team? Have you looked at your support team? Do you need to shift things up? It's a huge piece. And I'm always doing that with my own environment too. Who's supporting me in my change? Because I'm always changing myself, changing things up in all different ways.
Definitely.
Yeah, yes, definitely. So one of the questions that I was talking about was the piece of emotional blockages. And I'd love for us to talk about that. And just even really talking about what that kind of terminology is for our listeners, emotional blockages, specifically within the body. And I'd love for you to explain the connection between that emotion and the physical well-being, so our listeners can understand how that really shifts the aspect of health.
So it's quite interesting. When I've done a lot of healing sessions on people, I tend to look at healing the emotional blockages in different ways. So there's some people that are very into the head and they're quite dissociated from their body through, it could be trauma or anything like that. They are not aware that their body stores emotions, stores limiting beliefs, stores energy and frequency. And they don't understand that actually their body is, through pain or illness or emotions, is actually trying to communicate with them, and that's what needs to be looked at, loved and healed. When we work within the body, what I will do with them, if a client was working, I would scan them, and then part of their body will flash up for me, and then I'll go into that part of the body and I will tune into it and do body whispering, is probably the easiest way to say it. But every part of the body has emotional blockages. The wonderful Louise L. Hay, that's where she built her life's work. Her amazing work was that you read a part of the body that's causing issues, then there's always an emotional link to it. And then heal the emotions, heal the body.
That's right.
For instance, heart could be around emotional blockages around heartbreak and love and things like that. The back, the spine. So the back and the spine is your intuition and your connection to a higher divine, God, creator, whoever you believe is your source. So that's the back. Shoulders, it's like weight of the world on your shoulders. The right side of the body is masculine, the left is feminine. And then you can tune it, like you can tune in and understand whether it's coming through your emotions from this lifetime, whether it's working through the emotions of the DNA and the genetics. So we're carrying DNA and genetics. I think it was originally like 700 years ago, and now it's like going back 800, something like that.
Right, yes.
Scientifically proven as well. It's
right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were originally saying
imagine
6 lifetimes, I think, and now it's, yeah. Of course, it's got to be way more than that, like from the physical and emotional, energetic standpoint. We know it's got to be basically from the beginning of time, but they haven't said that yet.
Yeah. So in Theta Healing, we work on clearing the emotions and the blockages around. We do it here in what you've learned in this lifetime, where you are here today. We do it on the genetic line, so it goes back 7 generations. It goes back 7 generations, and you can heal it going forward 7 generations with Theta. And then you can work on it on the ancestral line, so that's 8 and more going back. However more back you want to go, it will just clear it. And it will work on what your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that you're tied into from the collective consciousness, who you're hanging out with, who you're That's why it's great to have a support team, because you want people cheering you on. You don't want like a toxic or a negative support team, because your healing, your change and your transformation is going to take a lot longer if you do get there anyway. And then it works on a level as well. That's what I love about Theta, is because it does transform it over all those four levels, whereas some other modalities don't do that. But when you're working with emotions, there's different ways of doing it. You can work with the emotions with Theta. You can work with the emotions through, I'm trained in, it's called a sacred star modality that one of my teachers, but it's really working through energetics and more women's work. That's more what that does. And then medical intuitive really works with inner child and the wounded self. So we go into hypnosis and we find out, so we can do that body whispering. We can bring up those stored, stuck emotions through a deep hypnosis practice to understand really what's going on. Sometimes we've got to go down to the root cause, and wherever that root cause will be, it flags up, and we just work through it and we just release it and let it go. And then working with people like yourself helps to change it on a cellular level in your body at this time. My work is very much part of the puzzle with another load of different other supportive people around. But emotional blockages, they just get stored and stored. And how do you know if you've got emotional blockages? One of the main causes is with women is that we hold our emotions down, and we hold our emotions down through addictions, through food and things like that. So that's there. You could be having pain within your body, struggling to walk, struggling to move, pain in your muscles, things like that. So, when there's pain, and if you're refusing to feel emotions, that's another key indicator. A lot of people will refuse to feel the emotions because what they do is 9 times out of 10, they've felt emotions in the past and then they've stored them. And then like so full energetically that if you took an energy bubble, they're completely full, that they just can't feel those emotions. Emotions are meant to be felt. They're meant to be felt, experienced, because we as a body and a soul, we want to learn emotions and understand and connect over emotions. But then we need to allow them to pass through us. And a lot of people don't do that. And hello, I was one of those people, because I would take on all my clients' stuff and hold it, and I didn't know how to release it. And then the illnesses happened, the monthly issues as a woman. I ended up with a hysterectomy years later. The migraines happened, the shoulder pain happened, and all of this. And then we've got to get to a point where we've got to stop and we've got to listen. Find out what's going on. It can be so instant release. Amazing. I've had clients crying, but that's just because they just need to release that. And once when they've had a really good cry, then they're like, I feel amazing. Oh my God, I've never felt this good. And it's okay. Here we go.
Yes. Yeah. When the emotional body shifts, and all illness is connected to the emotional body. It's like because I think part of why we're in this place of illness that we're in now with disease is because there was a disconnect, right, with this surgence of the medical field that we're in currently, moving through it, but where the body was only looked at from the physical aspect of healing, right? And it wasn't even quote unquote healing, but a typical medical doctor would just say, this is what's happening. This is your physical body. Take this, right? A plus B equals C, right? Take those things. But then now people are really waking up and saying, that is definitely not how my body works. And I think they're really understanding at a deeper level, like the emotions are so powerful. We can't heal without looking at both things or all the levels. It's not just two, but if we don't look at the emotional body, the healing will never take place. And I've seen it with all my patients. You have to look at the emotional body, because that's how healing really takes place. And you mentioned at the cellular level, right? The cells are emotions too, right? They have a conscious of being, all those pieces of our body, and they're hold on to that trauma or that emotion until we're ready. We're like, okay, I think I need to release this piece for healing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, like your cells hold on to feelings and emotions. So if you're holding on to feelings of emotion of sadness, guilt, shame, low vibe emotions and feelings, right? You are a vibrational, so this is getting a bit more law of attraction, a bit more woo-woo.
Yeah.
You are a magnet to experiences. So if your cells have shame, guilt, fear, or trust issues, or neglect stuff, or whatever in those cells, it wants those feelings like a drug. So you will energetically pull in those feelings to come into the body to keep all your cells happy, right? To keep them thriving and going. So with the process of healing through naturopathy and changing your environment and whatever we've spoken about on this podcast, if we start to change those beliefs of, okay, I'm going to let go of regrets, I'm going to let go of my trust issues, I'm going to let go of this, I'm going to let go of that. We never leave you as an empty vortex, okay? So we let go of the old and bring in the new. So it's like we're going to let go of pain and hurt and suffering, and we're going to bring in love, joy, peace, and whatever feelings that you want to replace them with. And then they go into your cells, and your cells are like, oh, this feels good. So that's why after a healing session, she cried, and then she feels amazing. We brought in really lovely feelings for her to experience. So then when she leaves session and she goes out into the world, she's like, oh, I feel love and I feel joy, I feel really happy. Oh, I'm going to take those supplements. Oh, I'm going to go to the movies and have a great time. Oh, I maybe want to start dating again. Oh, I'm ready to start releasing weight and start going down a healthy path. But yes, that's it, how it starts to change on a cellular level. It is, you can hear how passionate I am about, because it's changed my life, completely changed my life. And I love to help people feel that good as well.
I love that, Claire, because it's true. It's when you change the cells of the body, everything else shifts. And I love, there's a piece of your work that I'd love for you to talk about is the process of body scanning, because I think this is great because we're talking about scanning the body in a way. Talk to us about what that is exactly and how you use it in a way in your own intuitive healing, but also as a way that our listeners might be able to scan their own body and recognize areas of blockages that we talked about and do their own healing as well.
So for your listeners that maybe struggle with intuition or stuff like that, touch is the best way to scan their body. Right. So they want to go and that's why as women, we're told to go into the shower, soap up, and then feel our breasts, because you want to get into that shower or with some beautiful coconut oil or something like that. No toxics, please.
Yes, no toxins especially on the breast tissue.
And you want to be like stroking your body very gently, okay? And I would look at it doing like with some meditation music, really just make it a beautiful practice. And then you want to go through and you just want to touch your body in all the areas. And obviously it's a non-sexual practice and it's not about someone else touching.
Right. Yeah, you're using
the part that might want to come in.
Right. Yeah. This is not what this is about.
And I would gently just start to caress and feel the body. And then if you get to a point and you think, okay, that doesn't feel too good. Okay, what's going on there? And it depends how trusting and open you are. You could literally say, for instance, you were at your wrist and you feel something and you hold it and you go, okay, what's going on there? A bit like how you would speak to somebody else or to a child. You'd be like, okay, what's going on there? And then you could literally just journal down what was going on in my wrist, and you could just write some things down. With writing and journaling, you really want to be with journaling, you want to be like writing for at least 20 minutes. It's normally when your writing goes a bit scribbly, that's when you're starting to channel and tune into stuff. But you could literally go through your body. You could record it on your phone. So you could be like closing your eyes, touching your feeling your part. Okay, I'm at my elbow. It feels like this. This is what it feels like. Okay, this is what maybe could be happening. Okay, there's pain there. I bashed it. Okay, what's going on? Okay, it feels quite angry. It feels quite hurt. It feels neglect. Okay, where am I neglecting my body? Oh, I'm neglecting my body all over. I'm doing too much. I need to relax and start having that type of conversation. So that's probably the easiest way to understand it from a listener's point of view. From scanning the body, it depends how in tune you are, because obviously you'll have different types of listeners. You could imagine that there's you standing in front of you. Okay, like a vision of yourself. I see it a bit like an Oscars statue. That's really how I see it. And then I just literally get like this laser beam and I go all the way through my body, okay, in front of me. And then it will stop to different areas. So it might be shoulders. Okay, what's going into the shoulders? And then I'll go in and I'll tune in. Okay, what's going on with the shoulders? Oh, okay, that. What's going on with there? Okay, that. So I can do it in front of me. I think sometimes feel is a really good way for people, because as they're touching it, they can get the messages to come through as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
When I'm with the client, I literally imagine, so this is medical intuitive technique. This is a different one that I'm certified in, is that basically it's like an MRI intuitive X-ray scan. So you see all this white light going up and down. I do not go into my client's body. I don't go into that. I don't want to pick stuff up. I literally sit back and I can just see the light going through, and then all the information just drops. So it might be, look at vitamins, look at minerals. She needs this, she needs that. This is the emotional block. Okay, I'm seeing that. So I'm going to go into that. What's that mean? Where was that? Oh, okay, we're going to look at something where you were 3 years old. Okay, now I'm seeing more of a past life thing. We're going to go in and we're going to talk about that. And then all this information keeps coming through. We work on stuff and then I scan again, work on stuff and then scan again.
Nice.
So that's roughly, I don't have to scan too much, because 9 times out of 10, when someone sat in that chair, it's literally bang.
Yeah, they're coming.
No, I don't. I'm not sitting here scanning you. You're okay. Because that's when I tell people what I do, that's one of the things they think, oh my God, is she reading me? Okay, what might actually gets them a little bit nervous. And I just say to them, no, it's okay. You have to pay for that service.
Like, oh, that's an extra charge.
Don't worry. yeah, what am I picking up on? And I don't do that. I don't
Right.
do
No, you have to
that
be in the
without
space. Yeah, which is, that's an important
yeah.
thing, I think, to understand.
Yes, it
And
is.
yeah,
Very.
totally. And oh, that was great. Great explanation. Because I think it's really important to understand. I liked how you talked about looking at like an Oscar statue in front of you,
Yeah.
some type of image, something that's easy for you to scan. And touch is important because we have that kinesthetic feel, especially if you're new to scanning your body and understanding. I like to use myself when I'm doing scanning to use like a journaling tool next to me so I can write some stuff down. Or like you said, it's great to use a voice memo recording. That's a really great one because then you can just like, yeah.
This one's good because if you are closing your eyes and you're tuning in, you're actually going into a different type of hypnosis state. You've naturally tuned in something. Where people get wrong and they keep cutting themselves off is because they've got to then write it down. They've got to write it down. Whereas if you've got a phone and you're going through it, you can just close your eyes and you can just go boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah, so
yeah.
easy to do it that way. I do a lot of when I'm doing a lot of writing, I'll just put it into a voice memo because then it can flow super fast, which is great. When you're talking about doing healing technique, I'd love for you to share some of your own. You did a little bit. Share some of your own healing. How have you used your own healing techniques to quantum leap or to really help yourself grow from a success point of view, from that personal growth point? You talked a lot about your journey today, but how did you use some of those healing techniques yourself after you have gone through some of the training? Because you've done a lot of this year of personal growth with your own training.
So for me, it really quantum jumped when I did naturopathy, when I did like colonics, when I looked at my diet, and when I looked at the people around me who I was hanging out with and things like that, but also doing the healing. So I see it as a complete 360.
Yeah.
Doing one part is great. You can heal and heal and heal, but unless you have the energy to back it up through your body, you're in the environment that's correct, and then it's taking action. So it's the taking action where people get a little bit stuck. That's why it's great to have a support team around you, like your coach, like your therapist, because they're gonna, because the next time you go in to have a session with them, they're going to say, what have you done?
Exactly, right. Yes, compliance, right? Yes. If you're not wanting to do the work, you're not going to do it.
Exactly. That helps. Look, I personally work on myself every single day, and then every now and again I do a deep dive. Sometimes I have a session with a very alternative spiritual person, because it's good to see if I'm hiding anything from myself. I've done a lot of training. So doing the training actually makes quantum leaps and jumps in your life and in your business as well.
Yeah.
But it's not, this is my way of life. This is like me having a shower. This is like me brushing my teeth. This is like me coloring my hair. This is who I am, and this is how I live my life. It's not I'll do it for a few weeks and then I stop. I do it for a few weeks and then I stop. It's just an ongoing process for me, and that's how I do it. I use different modalities because it gives me the opportunity to work on different areas that I need it. So I always feel that when I'm working with Theta Healing, it's very much limiting belief. It's very much mindset. And I use it very spiritual as well. And then with the energetics, that's where I did the Sacred Star and the empowerment coaching. That really helps people take action, and it changes their energy and their frequency. Because some people are more in their head and limiting beliefs is what they want to change. Some people talk about energy all the time. It's how they're more feelers. They feel energy when they walk in. So that sort of covers that. And then the medical intuitive side of things really looks at deeper blocks, a lot of inner child healing, inner parent healing, and really being confident around different diseases, things like that, and healing the emotional side of all the diseases that's going on. So it's given me a really good grounding across lots of different platforms. And yes, I use it in my business as well. Every week I sit down, I have a process called spiritual mapping, is where I tune in to the energies of my business. Okay, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How do I need to show up? And I literally just channel my week's plan. I do a 3-month big goal setting type of thing. And I use intuition and I use guidance to where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do, how am I supposed to do it, and how am I supposed to show up. That helps me get out of procrastination, because I could be a person that procrastinates.
Oh, that's
And that
great,
helps
Claire.
me take quantum jumps as well.
Yeah, so key. And I really liked how you talked about it's the holistic model, right? We're looking at all pieces of ourselves again to really quantum jump, have that transformation of empowerment within ourselves to really, I think people have to really start to take charge of their health and their lives. Like no sitting in the back seat anymore. It's like we have to really like, okay, this, if you want to make these changes, you have to be able to do the work. And I think unfortunately we've trained people to not do the work. Here, you can take this pill and you're voila, you're going to feel better, which is not true. It's a falsity that has been created. But I think that people have gotten lazy around their health. And I think that the real people that are wanting to do the work are seeing like, oh, wow, health is not just like you take a drink of water. It's like you have to commit to it every day. I do that every day with myself: meditation, yoga, exercise, healthy eating. It's like it's a commitment for knowing that I can show up and be the best version of myself every day.
Exactly. It's interesting because I do see some clients that the first thing that I'm guided to work on is a neglect wound. And a neglect wound is someone, and that was me, where I really struggled I would maybe start a healthy eating plan on food, and I'd get 6 weeks in and then I'd give it up.
This isn't working. Yeah. A lot of patients that fall into that category.
Yeah, it's a neglect wound. And when that changes, wherever that's come from, people just start to glide through. So the wounds, working with wounds and things like that is just phenomenal in work like that. Basically doing the neglect wound on myself was once again another big quantum jump as well. I was one that I would do a lot of the stuff, but then after a few weeks I just I feel good now, so that's okay. And when I cleared the neglect wound, I was like, okay, so I feel good now. Now I'm going to get better. Now I'm going to get even better.
Yes, exactly.
Taking it to that next level.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's a huge shift of awareness. And I love that you brought that up, because that's a place a lot of people like, oh, I feel better. I don't need to do anything else. And I'm like, oh, wait, how about let's expand the vision? What would it be like? At that next level, what would it be like if you felt this way? What would it be? And I think I talk about rewriting your health story with my patients. Like, how would it be? What's your vision for your health? Okay. What would it be like if you're just stretch that vision just a little bit further, that next chapter? What would it be? Write it out. What would you like to see shift, change, revolve? And I think that's a really big place of awareness when that finally that door opens in that place of health.
And quite surprising, because I can imagine that you have some people that would sit there and go, what, I can go to another level.
Right.
What, another level?
Exactly. Like, yeah, you can. Yes. Yeah. It's just like a video game. The up leveling is endless. And I think that's a place that too, an old paradigm of thought is like, oh, you can only get to this place with your, well, that's not true. And also the old paradigm is that it takes an eternity. And I think people are realizing that you can have shifts in your health in quantum leaps of time, right? Instantly, if you're in the place, like you talked about the cellular vibration, right? Really in that space and time and moment, you can easily have a shift in your health. It's just about opening all the toolboxes, right? Just be like, okay, I'm open to this. What would happen if I try that? What would be like if I did that?
Yeah, because there's a process that you can actually shift your timeline. So you can literally have, and some people will say to me, oh God, I'm getting all the shivers and the tingles when I'm doing like energy healing on them, or even I will feel that for them. Shivers and tingles is an instant healing. It's like an instant manifestation. But then sometimes you need to back it up with the and whatever.
Back it up that
bring
hard
that
drive
forward. Put it in the hard drive. But you can shift timelines. There's practices that, I don't know if you do this, where you can do a meditation and you can bring the future version. This is really powerful when you bring future versions of people in front of them, and one that you haven't made any of the changes, what happens, and one you have made the changes, what happens. And I did this with a process with a woman about 3 years ago, and she was eating herself all the wrong foods and stuff like that, neglect wound and self-sacrifice wound. And we did a process of her 5 years in the future. What are you doing? And she was in hospital with diabetes. Like, it wasn't good. And she literally saw herself there. I just tuned her in and I just pulled the images forward for her. And she's quite alternative, so she could see it. And then it was like, this is the option if you are making the health changes. And she was married, she had 2 children, and she was living, and then she was taking the kids to tennis. And she's been wanting to have a baby for years. And she's just about to give birth. Yes, that's a powerful process. Some people actually need to see the future in front of them, because they don't realize that by doing that is leading to them to that. They need to see the end result, like it's either this or this. What are you going to do? And it can be quite hard and confronting, but
to your life. Yes, totally. Yes. Some people need that, like, almost not a nice, like, slap on the face, right? A wake up call.
I've done it with myself plenty of times.
Right. Yeah, totally. Oh, Claire, I think we could talk for a long time about all kinds of different subjects. I'm enjoying our conversation too much, but I want us to wrap things up today. So let's, for one question I'd love for you to answer is, if you had an unlimited budget right now, what would you do to create the biggest impact on the health and welfare of our planet?
Oh my God. I think I'd have a training academy to help healers take this amazing work out and show them some of the processes that I do to get results. I think I would have a healing center, and I think I would then let that get up and running, and then I'd fly around the world to other poorer communities and give my work for free.
I love that. That's great.
That's what it feels like. I'm going big with this.
Right. Oh yeah. Don't hold back.
Jumping it.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. I love that. So many of the guests I have on have a similar type of vision. And I think we're creating it every moment. It's okay. Yeah. Healing centers.
That's your big why.
Training. Right. Yeah. So I love that. That's a great one. I'm right on the same team with that vision for sure.
Maybe we could do it together.
That's right. Totally. Yes. I'm there. Okay. Tell us where people can find you. First of all, tell us about your Facebook group. You have an amazing Facebook group, and you also have a fabulous freebie. So tell us about those first.
My Facebook group is something that I've put together. It's called Holistic Spiritual Community. So it's really where people that are interested in more alternative spiritual practices can come and hang out. It is an amazing group of beautiful souls. There's males and females in there. There's a lot of healers in there, because I actually attract quite a lot of healers. Every week I go live. I either do some free healings in there. I teach people some of the practices and the processes. And I'm showing up for my communities. I'll do guidance and readings and things like that. So that's my way of just hanging out with some really great people and really filling my cup. So Friday mornings, that's where you see me hanging out.
Nice. I love that.
So that's that. Holistic Spiritual Community. The other freebie gifts, so there's a few, but with your listeners, I have the power of energy healing with energy healing medicine. So it talks about where in the body you could be experiencing energy problems. So we call them the energy centers, the chakras, and what that can look like. I'm very good at taking things that are quite spiritual or medical, and then I'd make it in human English form. I was like that as a hairdressing teacher as well.
Yeah, so needed.
People go, oh, okay, that's the process. Oh, okay, I get that. I understand that. That's what I have to do.
In lay terms.
So yeah, layman terms. So there's that. I also have one for clearing your home, energy clearing your home, and there's some free meditations. Basically, everything is under gifts on my website. So my website is clairegorman.com.au. You have to put the AU at the end for Australia, and that's where they can see me hanging out. I'm on all my social media platforms, LinkedIn and things like that, but I hang out more in my community, and you can catch me. You can see all my videos on YouTube as well, things like that.
Oh, nice. That's great. And you're at Claire Gorman Official on Facebook and Instagram. So we'll put all these links for everyone in the show notes, of course, and then you can find them on our Instagram page. So don't worry, you'll be able to tune in to Claire and find all of her goodies.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed today, and I hope we can stay connected, Lulu. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Claire. Me too. I loved our conversation, and I can't wait to share it with the world.
Thank you. Me too.